brilliant fake news and Democrats. Just unreal. So, the Russians wanted to disrupt the election, cause a little bit of turmoil, and they highly succeeded with the help of the Democratic Party and their fake news organizations. He spent over a year doing exactly what the Russians wanted to accomplish. Brilliant. All because you didn't get your way. The American people, at least the majority of them, could see through the one-party system that Hillary and Obama, with the help of the FBI, DOJ, and the State Department, is trying to get established in the United States of America. And I like to say it that way because we are states. We are not a dictatorship. And we got 50 states that have some simulation of power. And Washington needs to get in their head that it's the American people that run the government and not their bureaucracies. Okay, we had 8 years of insanity, and we were almost about to have 8 more years of extreme insanity. Luckily, someone came in and put a stop to it. Trump could leave office this very moment and has accomplished more in history than the average person, just by stopping the traitorous deep state and police state. And it is a police state. The fake news. The only reason the Democrats can get away with this is they control all the media. It's just like Germany right before World War II. The Nazis realized you have to control the media, and the left has been heading towards that goal for the past, since I can remember the 60s, and they almost were there, but they got knocked down by the grace of God. Now, hopefully the voters start waking up to a few things. It's like you can't just go by these little quick sayings like racist, or Nazi. You need to think about things and don't get involved in this demagogue type thinking. See what's really going on. The voters. Winston Churchill said it the best. He said, the problem with, and I'm just paraphrasing, he said, the problem with a democracy, if you want to find out what the problem is, just go out and talk to the voters for about 5 minutes, and you'll see what the problem is with a democracy. And we're heading more and more that way, and I think that's why the Democrats want wide open borders so they can get more entitled voters on their side. If they can get all these people coming across a wide open border, then they can control the government, because they all will be voting for entitlement. And talking about the border and we have and guns and things, what I find interesting is they're going insane about gun control, which I'm not totally against. I mean, you need to look into it and see what needs to be done, what's realistic. And I really, myself, when I was 18, 19, I slept with an M16 over Vietnam, and it's a dangerous weapon, and the AR-15 is dangerous. You don't need full automatic to be dangerous. Semi-automatic can shoot pretty damn fast, as has been demonstrated a few times. we need to really think, do we need to make this easy to get by just anybody in a couple of days, some 18-year-olds just come on off the street, boom, boom, and they got one. I'm not saying we should ban it. But I'm saying we should just look into it. That would not hurt. But what kind of I find interesting is the Dems start screaming gun control, but they want wide open borders. You can have all the gun control you want, but if you have wide open borders, guns are going to come across that border with the drugs, with the human trafficking. Some of those young girls they bring across are slaves, but really they end up somewhere in Houston area, prostitution, and they're just slaves, and their families are threatened back to wherever they came from if they don't go along with the program. And what allows all that to happen is a wide open border. So you can stop any sales of weapons in any legitimate retail outlet in the United States for United States citizens that are actually law-abiding citizens. Guns will still get to the crazies because we have wide open borders. Now, after saying that, I mean, I'm agree that with Trump that we need to have our borders secured. Okay, let's do that. Now, does that mean we don't allow people to come in? No. They can still come in. It's just that we know who's coming in. We can even allow more in if we want. The ones that are really looking for a better life, family, working, education, and they will pump the economy. I'm going to have to do a video on that because where I'm from, we have all kinds of people from different nations, mostly like Mexico, the Caribbean. I see them every morning getting ready to go to work at this one gas station that I go to. And they're just getting water and whatever, and they got to go out and work all day. They're workers. They don't want to cause problems. And this is what we need because the economy is booming, and we're going to need workers. And most Americans nowadays are more into the, office, air conditioning, computer type work. Who's going to go out and do all the hard construction type work? We're going to need workers, good workers. So, but we can let them in. And I think, excuse me. Okay, I did a video and I explained how I tested it, and a plane can fly over the border. I mean, this is to help the Democrats out because they're kind of they're not really necessarily realistic. But if you have a good wall where people cannot sneak through, and it doesn't have to be a wall the whole way, but I mean the border is very secure. Okay, we can let all the people we in, and I checked it out, a plane can fly over a wall, no matter how tall it is. If it's a 100-foot wall, 50-foot, a plane will fly over it. So that Schumer, Pelosi, and stuff, you ought to test it out because just because we have a secure border to keep out guns, drugs, human trafficking, slavery, that doesn't mean we don't let anybody in. We can let more people in than we've been having come in if need be. And if Congress decides that we should let 2, 3, 4 million hard-working type people that want to come in, and we need them, we can let them in. But we know pretty close who we're getting. We're not just letting anybody come in. I know you need your votes because anybody with a half of a brain is not going to vote for your party, and you want to let in any fool you can across the border and give them entitlements so you can secure their votes. But if you start waking up, you Democrats, you can probably get some people to vote for you just because you have policies that are sensible. Right now, you really don't. So, anyhow, that's all about all I want to say, basically, though, was don't get too excited about gun control if you're going to have wide open borders, because that way the outlaws would definitely have guns and nobody else. The ones that abide by the law won't be able to get them unless they get them illegally, buy them from somebody that sells them that come across the border. It's just like drugs. Drugs have been coming across the border, and you got anybody can fly across the border. That's not a good policy. I don't know why you damns think it is. Trump's willing to let close to 2 million dreamers to become citizens. And you're putting a stop to that because you don't want secure borders. And in the past, I think every one of you proclaimed that we need secure borders. Now it's just you want to mess up Trump's agenda. And it's just like you're trying to mess up his presidency with all that fake crap y'all are doing. Like somehow the Russians voted for him. If the Russians can vote for our leaders, we're in trouble. Hillary was the one that caused Trump to get in because she was running against him. Obama helped because he had been in office for 8 years. The citizens, the patriotic citizens of the U.S., the free people, were getting fed up with the bullshit of what was going on. And if you keep pushing it, it's going to get more and more that way. So why not get a little bit realistic and try to help somebody besides yourself? It wouldn't hurt to get some CPA types to kind of look at where you live, how much you paid for your mansion, how much money you got. Because I'm not sure what you senators and stuff get paid yearly, but my guess would be that you have a lot more assets than what your pay will show. So if that money came from somewhere, my guess would be it came from the American taxpayer. That's what you need to worry about. Start doing your job and quit stealing our money. The taxpayers, the working people, are the ones that voted for Trump. Trump has nothing to do with this. Well, I mean, indirectly it does. If he wasn't voted into office, he wouldn't be able to do a damn thing. The reason he was put into the office was because the majority of the American people voted for him. And I do mean majority. You can cry to sing about, well, he didn't have all the majority. It was the Electoral College. Yeah, right. Look at all the crooked illegals with fake IDs that were voting. I saw on TV there was one laughing about it, where she voted 5 times in Texas. You can go into a lot of areas in big cities and get fake IDs without much trouble. That's why the Krauts do not want any type of ID or any of that for voting, because they'd lose a lot of votes because a lot of their votes are illegal or dead people. Okay, so anyhow, hopefully all this mess can be worked out slowly. I think the swamp is slightly drained, but it has a long way to go. Talk to y'all later.